Coming up on this edition of Southwest TV News. Last December, Canada Post announced it was suffering a financial loss and planned to eliminate door-to-door mail delivery service. The latest data is in, and Saskatchewan students continue to lag behind other Canadian provinces in test scores for math, science, and reading. Years of fundraising efforts by the Southwest Cultural Development Group and the support from local businesses and federal grants have assisted in bringing the historic Lyric Theatre through its first phase of renovations. Thanks for joining us here today. 3 Saskatchewan communities will see their door-to-door mail delivery service eliminated next year. We have more in today's top story. Last December, Canada Post announced it was suffering a financial loss and planned to eliminate door-to-door mail delivery service. Over the past several months, this transition in service from personally delivered mail to the growing trend in super boxes has already started in many communities across the country. Here in Saskatchewan, Prince Albert, Moose Jaw, and Yorkton are the first centres in the province targeted by Canada Post to lose their door-to-door mail delivery service starting next fall. In addition to dropping door-to-door service to recover from its revenue shortfall of $109 million reported in its third quarter of 2013, the price of individual stamps increased earlier this year to $1 each. More announcements are expected in the coming weeks of selected communities next in line to lose their door-to-door mail delivery service across Canada. According to a recent study, Saskatchewan students are not making the grade in a number of key areas. We have more in this report. The latest data is in, and Saskatchewan students continue to lag behind other Canadian provinces in test scores for math, science, and reading. The Pan-Canadian Assessment Program testing is compiled every 3 years among selected grade 8 students across Canada, with 32,000 students tested in a range of areas. Here in Saskatchewan, 2,918 students participated in the latest round of testing, with the results showing lower scores in key areas of science, math, and reading. Overall results, which education officials agree there's room for improvement. And here in the Southwest, school divisions such as Chinook indicate they already have programs in place to help students in putting their best foot forward.
We firmly believe that our students have to have a solid base in literacy first. Once we can get kids on track with their literacy, it just points to having a very successful K-12 educational career. And then, as you've noted, our Math Momentum was the next major initiative that we rolled out, and we've seen great growth for our Chinook students in that. As much as I personally might like to see a science exploration and inquisition and intuitive skills developed, I think we can still do that in the classroom without necessarily having to enroll a major initiative.
Additional results showed that Saskatchewan female students' science scores were lower than those across the nation, while excelling above their male counterparts in the province in the area of reading. Results in reading scores, which Chufu says have moved in the opposite direction in Chinook over the past several years.
Our boys in our last set of scores actually surpassed our girls. And so there are things that you can do that make a difference in those areas. And I think for all of us, when we get results like this, it makes us, reflect upon our internal practices and set priorities. And when we focus on those priorities, we can make a difference.
In total, 1,500 schools across Canada participated in the 2013 Pan-Canadian Assessment Program testing. Alberta students had the best PCAP scores in science, while Quebec excelled in math, and Ontario students lead the way in the area of reading. Meanwhile, Manitoba scored the lowest in all tested categories. The Lyric Theatre in Swift Current recently honored its local funding partners and is now looking ahead to its next stage of building upgrades. Years of fundraising efforts by the Southwest Cultural Development Group and the support from local businesses and federal grants have assisted in bringing the historic Lyric Theatre through its first phase of renovations. With over $1 million invested to date, The building is now structurally sound and up to code in a number of areas. With this initial hurdle completed, project donors were recognized during a special plaque unveiling at the Lyric, as the committee now looks to the future.
It's been a long project, and we just really wanted to get to the point where we were finally properly thanking our sponsors, and it's because of them that we were able to do what we've done here. We have the entire plan right to the end. Of course, it requires much more fundraising, but we do have the plan set out, so we're not going to be spinning our tires, wondering what to do next. And the biggest thing was we didn't want to have to undo something that we did, in order to move to the next phase.
Future plans for the building, set out in a series of stages, would include the installation of fire sprinklers, the replacement of front windows, and a full redesign of the lobby, including a mezzanine, where the projection room is now located. The mural on the front of the building now on display is also a glimpse at future upgrades.
We wanted to cover up some of the ugliness of the front of the building, but give the community a vision as to where we were going to go. And I think that they did a really good job of it. It's like you can visualize how pretty it can be in the end, and it gives you that 3D effect, and it will be up there for quite a while still.
Alongside of the list of enhancements to the overall building is the prospect of attracting additional partners to use the facility for various events as a revenue generator.
We hope to grow our theater aspect of things right away here in the future. We have the play, Cypress Hills Will Never Be the Same, written by local Stu Tash. We're quite excited about that. And yeah, it could just be used for any number of things.
The next round of capital fundraising will commence in 2016 for the Lyric Theater, as the Southwest Cultural Development Group moves on to additional upgrades for this historic building. Well, this brings to a close another episode of Southwest TV News, reporting the stories that matter to you. We always welcome your news tips. You can always reach us here by phone at our studio or by email to contact us at southwesttvnews.com. Also, be sure to join us daily online for the latest news from across Southwest Saskatchewan and so much more at MyLocalTV.ca. And be sure to follow us on a range of social media. Thanks for joining us here today. I'm Carol Andrews.